Welcome, everyone. This is our pre-show for Town Hall number 83. And so we're going to actually feature the stamps of James Bond by Dick Eassom. Dick, over to you.
Thanks, AJ. So you guys remember we did a town hall a while back where we featured James Bond with the upcoming Living Daylights movie coming out. And so I got a few stamps, presented a few stamps. I'd like to show you now what actually is the final result. So I'm just going to share my screen here. And where are we? All right, so this is what I did. Just to give you a little bit of, there we go. Hopefully I'm sharing now. What I did, so this is from our 4th of October town hall last year. And this is the actual stamp here in the black mount. That's special to keep it mint and clean. And so this first one here was from 2008. This was a little sheet put out by the UK Royal Mail. And it shows all of the books, or 6 of the books from Ian Fleming. And so this was for his birth centenary, which was in 1908. And so, well, the centenary was in 2008, obviously. And what we've got here are all the books that he actually wrote, from Casino Royale, the very first one in 1953, all the way to Octopussy and the Living Daylights, which was actually a compendium of stories in 1966. And the UK actually chose to feature some of these, and actually what they've got on each stamp is, you know, the book, and then 4 different versions of it. So let me show you that in more detail. These are sheets from a thing called a Prestige booklet, which is a booklet of stamps, especially for collectors. So Royal Mail knows how to extract every penny out of stamp collectors. And so these were individual sheets from the book. And you can see, for example, here is the Casino Royale, and we've got the original 1953 Jonathan Cape first edition, the 1964 Pan, a 1980 Jove, and a 2002 Penguin. So they copied that forward for all of these. And then also in the booklet, you get some odd little stamps. Most of you who've been to the UK, you'll recognize these are standard British postage stamps featuring the Queen, of course. The style is called a Machin style. But you'll see in the middle, there's an odd little thing here, not a stamp, just a label, picture of a typewriter with Ian Fleming's James Bond on it. It's a nice little collector's item there. Just moving on here, I know we don't have a lot of time. Here are the other 3 books that were featured on the stamps. So Dr. No, The Diamonds Are Forever, and From Russia with Love. And the booklet's full of like a little story all the way through. So it's kind of good. And then the last page, which I thought was kind of cool, this had 4 stamps here to reflect the James Bond, of course, was a Royal Navy commander. That was his title, his rank, I should say. And so what we've got here are 2 Union flags, top right and bottom left. And for those who recognize naval insignia, this is the white ensign flown by the Royal Navy, top left and bottom right. This was a sheet that came out in to celebrate 50 years of James Bond. So this was also around, I think, 2012, I think, this one. And here are the movies, you know, with each of the stars in them, and a little first-class stamp to go with, which was kind of nice. These sheets, and I'll show you in a minute, these are actually A4 sheets, so they're great for letter size stamp albums. This was a sheet that came out, a set that came out in 2014. I showed this in the presentation back in October. This is from Alderney, which is one of the Channel Islands just off the coast of France, part of the United Kingdom. These are from Alderney, which is part of the bailiwick of Guernsey, just to give it its full title. And this was for the life of Ian Fleming. These came out in 2014. So this is the 50th anniversary of the death of Ian Fleming, and it actually talks about his story. And there's rather splendid little mini sheet here at the end, a £3 sterling mini sheet. Hard to see in the scan, but this is actually in gold on the stamps. So really nice little stamps, actually, nice collection. And then this set now, this is 2020. This is the James Bond actors in their first films. I know it's sideways, but it's the only way I could fit it on the page. What I wanted to do here in terms of presentation was to show the films that each of the actors starred in. So, for example, if we take, here's Pierce Brosnan, showing him in GoldenEye, but he was in GoldenEye, Tomorrow Never Dies, The World Is Not Enough, and Die Another Day. All good movies. And we have Daniel Craig, our current one, including, of course, No Time to Die, which was the movie that came out last year. Finally, so half of the thing with presenting stamps is actually to present them in a way that gives a lot of information rather than just putting the stamps on the page. And that's what I've tried to do here with this, including a little bit of research going through and finding the pictures of the movies, the original posters for the movies. So that was a little fun exercise. This is the prestige sheet that came out with that set. So they've got various sort of basically scenes from, you know, the movies. And obviously this was Goldfinger, where the laser attempted to cut James Bond in half. And then we have various other scenes here, sketches, storyboards, if you like, from the different movies. And here we have, of course, the toys, including the Vanquish from Die Another Day, which is in the background here. And then we have the famous, you know, the jetpack, Little Nelly, Autogyro, the submarine, and the infamous or famous DB5. Another nice little sheet at the back of this was this little mini sheet here, which had the various Machin second-class stamps in this case, or a couple of 2p stamps, and then a couple of Scottish flags and a couple of Union flags. So it's kind of nice. Not sure why the Scottish flags, maybe an homage to Sean Connery, who knows. There was also a mini sheet, as you can see with that. It's hard to fit these on the page sometimes. And then this was actually a stamp booklet. I know it's sideways, but that came out in 2012. And unlike all the others, these are all lick on the back and stick on the envelopes. These are actually self-adhesive, and you can see they've actually been rouletted. You just peel them off and stick them on. Pretty much the way stamps are going these days. And then this was a nice sheet that came out. This is an A4 size sheet to go with that set, with all these first class stamps on it. And these labels, these are just labels, they're not actually stamps, the pictures of the cars and things. And then finally, this is the one that came out for No Time to Die. Again, self-adhesive. You can see by the rouletting here and the thing, just labels and then 10 first class stamps. Interesting enough, some of these are hard to get. This one, believe it or not, I actually had to get from a dealer in Moscow, and it took forever to get here to the US. So that is a quick look at the collection that I put together after that October, after the October town hall. So that's kind of just want to show you some of the thought processes that I go through there in putting an album collection together.